Hey, it's Margie with the Asking Spot, and I am working on this. It is a music box kaleidoscope with the little globe.
See, there's a lot going on here.
The music part of it, not working so hot. I'm hoping that I can take it apart and clean it up, and that will get it going again. But the main job I have is to change it up.
What?
It's my brother-in-law's, and he likes the functionality of it. He just likes that it's a cute little kaleidoscope, and let's face it, it is. It's kind of cool. But this brass part here, in person, it's even yellowier than what you're seeing.
That's not a word.
And the wood's not, the color of it's not something my sister loves. So my job is to change it all up into something she'll like visually and still have all the things it does for my brother-in-law.
That's it? That's it?
Let's get to cleaning this up and taking it apart. To figure out what metals we're working with, at least to get an idea, I'm going to use a magnet. Now, here's the thing. Brass is not magnetic. So if this magnet sticks to anything, right away I know I've just got some sort of probably a steel that has been painted to look like brass. What it doesn't stick to could technically be brass, but it could also just be some shiny painted plastic. And that's not going to be fun. So let's get to working on it, and the pieces that come off that I think are brass will need a little further inspection. One quick tip about taking apart something like this. You may not want to film what you're doing per se for some YouTube channel, but it does help to, at the very least, take a picture of the pieces as you brought them out, so you know the order that they should go back in when you're putting the piece back together again. As I've never really worked on a music box, this might be more of a how not to video than a how to. Alright, see this little propeller here? That's supposed to move a little bit faster, like a lot. So there's either dirt or it just needs to be a little bit lubed up. Now, you'd be tempted to put oil in it, but from what I've heard from experts, that actually gunks it down. So you're better off just putting a little bit of WD-40 on a toothpick and dabbing once at the top and once at the bottom.
What's the camera for?
Alright, I get the music box working. Not great.
That seems to be the problem.
Okay, now you're showing me off. I did get it working, but it was when I attach it to this piece. This is the piece that moves the globe on the top. I don't know if this is sitting too hard in here or if this is an issue. It seemed to slow down and not work as well. I'm still going to put it together with it, and hopefully it will work. Maybe the WD-40 just needs a longer time to work.
Clearly.
It wasn't working like this a second ago. Okay, so I am moving forward though. However, getting this guy out, there's like a screw underneath here that I just don't have access to. So I'm going to do a lot of taping off of this when I work on the wood part, and vice versa when I work on the metal part, because yeah, they're not going to be separated. Always wanted to try this technique. There's a bit of a nick in this piece of wood, and what I'm doing right now is I've got a damp cloth and I'm trying to get some moisture in there. I went ahead and spritzed it with water. And now I'm bringing back the clean, damp cloth, and I'm going to iron it on top of it. The iron's just set at a, I don't know, I'm not an ironing pro. I just put it kind of at a high heat and went quickly with it. I figured less is more, and I could do more as I progressed. And the cool thing is it didn't fix it immediately, but yeah, I could definitely tell it was working. Now, in the end, the camera won't be able to show you too much of a difference because I'm a lousy camera person, but also because the stain is still darker within it. But when you touch it, you can feel that it has brought back up and flattened out. This thing's got me a little perplexed on many levels. For starters, this, no matter how hard I sand it, it still stays super smooth. And I don't get that. So that's why, even though, I got a nice little bit of tooth up here and stuff like that, I can't get it here. I'm going to use a gel stain. That's kind of a combo of stain and paint. It has a lot of the stain that stays above the surface, and it's designed that way. So hopefully that'll be able to take care of that. Meanwhile though, this came out nicely. Debate. Should I leave it like this lighter color, and just give it, sort of a natural wood stain and no. I guess I'm gonna go black with this because let's face it, this is the star of the show. But is this stuff. It's not real gold, okay? But otherwise I can't understand why. I soaked this in mineral spirits. I soaked it in vinegar and salt because, if it was brass, that would corrode it. The mineral spirits was supposed to get off the potential stuff they put on it. If you've got a better suggestion for maybe a future project, please comment below, because I'm going to go ahead and just give these brass-ish pieces a light sand, and then I'm going to go ahead and spray paint them.
Magic.
They're not as versatile as stains, but I really do love gel stains. I feel like when applying, I have more control of application, not necessarily of color. Stains are definitely more versatile when it comes to color. Now with the gel stain, I had to use it because the sides, like I said, I couldn't get any teeth going on that, so I don't know what it's made of. It could be plastic for all I know, but it's going to work with the gel stain. You stir it, and you don't want to shake it. There's no point of shaking it because it's so thick, and you don't want to thin it down. Then you go ahead and you wipe it on. Yes, the random sock comes in handy, but note, still wear gloves underneath those things or you're going to be stuck with stain all over yourself. You wipe it on, you leave it for, say, a few minutes, probably around 3 minutes. Then you come back and you wipe off the excess. Now, if you're happy with how it turns out the first go around, well, then you just leave it 24 hours before you put a top coat on. If you are not happy, then you need to go for that second coat. You still want to let the first coat dry for about 8 to 10 hours because stain can take out stain if it's still wet. Give a little bit more of a lush feel to these pieces. I'm gonna wax them, just the wood parts. So, this part in the center and of course the base. I'm gonna just rub it on, leave to sit till it gets cloudy, and that timing of cloudiness varies on where you live because of the humidity. So I'm gonna say roughly 15 minutes. And then I'm gonna buff it off with a nice clean cloth. I might use a shop cloth because I find that those teeth tend to kind of grab more and it makes it just a little bit faster of a task. Before we look at the final results, let's take a look back at where we started. And if you could, please click subscribe, give a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel and I appreciate it a lot. Thank you very, very much. Okay, so here's the final results. Thanks so much for watching The Asking Spot. To figure out if we're working with brass or not, we can pull out a magnet. And it's not a perfect science, especially with this piece, because yeah, I'm probably going to find some of these pieces aren't non-magnetic. That's double. Yeah, is that double? Okay, the parts that are magnetic, bloops. It's you use WD-40, not oil, because oil can gum it up. I really tried to keep this table clean. I actually had like stuff covering it, but yeah. Figure out though what we're dealing with first. This is just the longest little blah blah blah.